everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well today. And today I thought I'd do a more personal vlog about why I am interested in politics and why I got into politics and why I think it is important as an autistic and legally disabled woman about my political interests and why I want to talk about it today. So why am I interested in politics? As a legally autistic woman for many years, I've been interested in politics as far back as I can remember, since around the age of around 10, 11 years old. I loved hearing the politics on TV. I started watching Prime Minister's Questions, also known as PMQs. I'll link the PMQs debates down below in the video description for you to watch. You guys in America and the USA. I believe you have the House of Representatives and the House of the Senate, and that you have as your political authority. So I'll link some PMQ sessions down below. So in the UK, as a legally autistic woman, I've really had the passion for politics since I was around 10 or 11 years old. I got into it by watching the TV, and I thought, wow, you know, this is important, this is legal, and this is the right way to get our voices heard with raising issues around disability, politics, anything related to making sure mental health and disability was better discussed within the local community. And I decided to get involved within my local political circle, and I got in touch with my local MP at the time, who was Ben Gummer, who is a Conservative MP, or who was a Conservative MP at the time. And he basically listened to me, valued me, made me feel important, respected, listened to me. And at the time I was going through a really severe mental health struggle, and my family were trying to get me assessed for what now I have been diagnosed with, which was high functioning autism and severe anxiety disorder. And he took the time to get to know me one-on-one, listen to me, guide me, support me, treat me as a friend, not just as a political constituent. And a constituent is someone who's in the political constituency area. So my constituency area is Suffolk, and my hometown of Ipswich. So we have a big constituency around the Suffolk area, and right now our current MP is called Tom, and I have spoken to Tom on numerous video calls, and he feels extremely passionate, the same as me, about raising the profile for dyslexia, autism, mental health, special educational needs, disabilities, because again Ipswich and Suffolk is a little bit behind when it comes to providing help and support for those who have the most severe of disabilities. And as a autistic woman, I felt it's important to get my voice out there, whether that's by advocacy, by doing my YouTube videos, or going out to political meetings, or going out to disability focused meetings where I meet members of parliament, local councillors, local advocates, local campaigners, and we sit around the table and we talk about issues that are important to us and why we want to discuss them. And as someone who is autistic and has chronic anxiety disorder, I thought it'd be important to talk about why I got into politics and why I do it. And the reason I got into it is because, like I said at the beginning of this video, is because I have the passion, the drive, the enthusiasm, the campaigning spirit. I want to see people with disabilities being helped, supported, guided, given access to politicians, given access to local mental health services, given access to local councillors. Because again, if we don't have our voices heard in the political atmosphere, how are we going to get our voices heard elsewhere? So for me, it's a really important factor to drive my voice as an advocate, as a campaigner, as somebody who wants to work within the autism mental health field and within the admin field. I want to use my skills to the best of my ability and to bring the awareness back to the forefront, which is autism, mental health, learning disabilities. And for someone who is so passionate and lives it every day, I am autistic. I was diagnosed in 2014 at the age of 25. So, you know, I've always had that drive, that ambition, that passion about helping people has always been something that's inside of me. It's always been something I've been passionate about. I've always been going to advocacy groups. I've always been going to campaign groups. I've been joining in with local disability meetings because that is something I feel is important to me, is important to the local community that is around me in the Ipswich and Suffolk area. And I believe that it's the right thing to do to advocate for people who may not be able to advocate for themselves. You know, it's something that needs to be done. And with regards to Ipswich, we are very, very bad at the way we treat disabled people. There is not enough awareness or acceptance out there of disability as a whole. And this has been going on for years, as far back as I can remember. The level of disability access is absolutely horrendous. And I want to change that. I want to break that stigma. I want to make it less overwhelmed with people with disabilities who are trying to access services and are trying to get help and support for their disabilities, their mental health issues, or mental health conditions. And yeah, it's just something that is vital as a communication right. It is our birthright to have access to politicians, advocates, campaigners, charities. It is something that I'm passionate about raising the awareness of and the profile of. The more you raise the profile, the more that I raise my voice, raise my platform, raise my YouTube channel, it will get seen, it will get heard. My voice will be an advocate for people who can't speak out, or who are non-verbal, or who are too afraid to speak out because they feel that they're not going to be listened to, respected, and listened to. And many disabled people are too scared about how to interact with their politicians. By the end of the day, they are just human like me. They are just one person. They're a person who are wanting to make change. They are people who are trying to bring legislation to the forefront. And this is another area that I want to touch on as someone with autism spectrum disorder, or autism spectrum condition as I name it. Politicians need to better understand and support how we see the world, because again, they don't know what it's like for us to live with autism spectrum condition, or mental health conditions, or physical disabilities, or dyslexia. By the end of the day, it's often ignored and put underneath the carpet. So, oh, well, we shouldn't really talk about that. We'll just leave it till later. We'll just leave it till last, We'll just sweep it underneath the carpet like it doesn't exist. No, we're going to stop doing that, because people with dyslexia, autism, dyspraxia, mental health issues, they matter. Their voices matter. Their experiences matter. And it's about time that the political front, political campaign groups shut up and listen to us, because we are the ones who live with it every day. We are the ones that have to deal with chronic anxiety. We're the ones who have to deal with being judged and stared at and made fun of and ignored and judged because, oh, they're not normal. What's wrong with them? Why can't they communicate? We are trying to communicate with you. And by the end of the day, we are entitled to have our political voices heard. We are advocates of our own right. We are patients with lived experiences. We are the ones that live with it day in, day out, year in, year out, month in, month out. And it's about time we get ourselves listened to. And if people can't do it, I will communicate for them. I have that passion, I have that drive, I have that motivation to make change, and I will continue to do so for many people who can't. And as a political system, we have Westminster. So again, we do have that system of the higher up people, the people who are the MPs, which stands for Member of Parliament, by the way. And my Member of Parliament, I must admit, Tom is fantastic, amazing, really thoughtful, really genuine, supportive, listens, understands what it's like to be a disabled person, as he's disabled himself. He has dyspraxia, I believe he said. So he understands the struggle, the fight for people with disabilities, and he is trying to advocate more for better awareness, better acceptance of people with autism and learning disabilities who can't communicate for themselves. I think that's a really good way of interacting with your politicians. Get someone who listens. Get someone who knows by experience. Get someone on board who you know will listen to you, because disability does matter. It needs to change. The stereotypes need to end. The judgments need to end. And I can't stress enough how important it is that you approach your Member of Parliament and you fight for your rights. You get heard, you get seen, and you get listened to, because it's a basic human right. We are entitled to be listened to. So yeah, please pursue your MPs in Westminster. They are there, they do work for you, they are members of the public, they do work for your services. So yeah, also when it comes to legislation, I have extreme concerns, because when you bring out all these different types of legislation, like reforming the Mental Health Act, the Autism Act, the Think Autism Act, there needs to be actual action behind it, because I see so much pieces of legislation being brought out, and it just seems to be, oh, we'll think about that later, or we'll come back to it. We need to make more time, and stop making excuses. Make the time, sit down with people with autism and disabilities, get us involved in the political legislation, because without us you have nothing. Without us you have absolutely no grounds to stand on, or no political legislation in place, because we are the ones that make that legislation, we are the ones living with it. You need to get your constituents on board working with you, because otherwise you are just wasting your time. Writing all this legislation, all these political words, all these political statements mean nothing. You need to have people like myself on board with you, who are going to help you, support you, believe in you, and actually get some action in place, because otherwise it's just words, and words mean nothing. So yeah, we also need to have better representation when it comes to people with disabilities being employed in Parliament. I hardly see any disabled MPs in Parliament. Hardly ever. That shocks me, because the House of Commons and the House of Lords, what they call the other place, is meant to be disability friendly. I've hardly seen any disabled members of parliament employed whatsoever. I've seen hardly any members of parliament with autism or anxiety or mental health issues. Where are they? Where are they? Let's get people with autism, mental health issues, physical disabilities employed in the House of Commons, the House of Lords, that other place, and let's get some more disability representation in the Westminster. The more disability representation that we have, and the more representation that we show, the more better it will get for disabled people as a whole. Because places like that are meant to be disability friendly, they're meant to be on the forefront of it. Where are we? Where are the disabled people? There is no one, from what I've seen, who is employed, disabled, or otherwise in both houses. So let's get some more disability people involved in the House of Commons and the House of Lords as well. I think politics in the past has been a barrier to many people. It's been a barrier because many people don't understand what it's like to advocate for their rights, how it's like to contact MPs, what it's like to go up to Westminster and actually see the building in person. I've been very, very lucky. I've been to Westminster quite a few times now, and I've seen how beautiful it is. That building is amazing. Beautiful, beautiful building. Huge. But invite your disabled constituents to Westminster. Invite us up for a tour. Invite us up for a day. Invite us up for a talk. Invite us to a debate. Let's get disabled people's voices heard in Parliament. Let's see them being actively involved, actively encouraged, actively campaign for. Because the more you campaign for their rights, the more you stand up for them, the better they are to actually talk with you, communicate with you, and share their needs and abilities with you. So that's another thing that I want to raise as well. And the reason that I enjoy politics so much is because I enjoy the conversation, I enjoy having my voice heard, I enjoy making friends, and I've made many political friends throughout the years, and I've been to many political parties, I've been to many political debates that I've watched on my own, and I've travelled up to Westminster, I've been in the political gallery just watching how they do the debates, and it's fascinating. Please, 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 I stress you, go and watch a political debate. Go into Westminster. Go into the public gallery. Sit there and take in the atmosphere, because there's nothing like it. It's absolutely amazing. So I hope you've enjoyed hearing this video and hearing my opinions. Please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll be back next time. Bye!